Feel the power of your determination taking control of your breathing. Feel the power of your presence, your gift, right now in this moment. Now think about you doing your best today on all the exercises we do together in the gym of life. See, we are so powerful, we get to think, create, imagine in our minds, and make real in the world. And that goes with everything. The way we do our exercises to the best of our ability is the same way we can do anything to the best of our ability. All right, good morning, determination. How's everyone today? Here we are again, another day in the gym of life. Again, circumstances may not be ideal. Perhaps this is not exactly where we want to be right now, but we're going to make the best of it. So let's do this together. Here we go. When I say go, we're going to start jogging on the spot. Or if you want, you can simply do your best walk on the spot. Okay? Here we go together. And go. Always doing our best with whatever we got, whatever we've been given. The gym of life is everywhere, never ends. Wherever you are, whatever you're doing, whatever your situation is, if you're here right now watching this video, we are together, we are united, mind and body. Alright, let's feel that body warming up, our blood starting to flow. Keep going, almost there. And stop. Alright. Walking back and forth, side to side, within the space that you have, or simply walking on the spot if that's all the space you have. Again, feel the power of you regaining control of your breathing. Showing your body who's boss. Showing your mind who's boss. The way we take control of that breathing, same way we can take control of our lives. One breath at a time, one thought at a time. All right, everyone, let's do some shoulder rolls. Here we go. Shoulder rolls, 10 forward. And backwards. Once again, feel the pure joy of you, your presence, your being right here, right now. Feel the gratitude that you can show for being able to move your body. All right, arm circles forward, 10 forward. And backwards. Okay, hands on our hips, bend our knees, and let's side stretch. 5 on each side. Keep those knees bent. Alright, and let's twist our bodies. 5 on each side again. Feet flat. flat on the floor. Just twisting our hips. Alright, let's do 5 push-ups, everyone. That's 5 push-ups. Here we go. If you gotta keep your knees down on the ground, you can do that. Okay, 5 sit-ups. Alright, let's do 5 squats. Here we go. Best 5 squats ever. All the way down, all the way up. Good, alright, let's do lunges. 3 on each side. Arms out. Okay, let's do 10-second planks. Belly's knees off the ground. Alright, good everyone, excellent. And stand up. And let's reach for the ceiling or the sky, wherever we are. Here we go. On your toes. Hold it for 10 seconds. The power of you reaching, doing your best, no matter what. Alright, and let's reach for our toes, straight knees. Again, it's okay if you don't touch your toes, just reach. Safely, without hurting yourself. You should just feel a pull, you shouldn't feel pain. Okay, come on back up. And let's work on our balance. Grab one leg, find that balance, bend the other knee if you have to, and pull back your heel towards your bottom. Pull that thigh back. Hold it for 10 seconds. Feel the power of you finding your balance right now. And switch, the other one. Power of all of us together in this moment, united, doing our best together on these stretches and exercises. Alright, and switch. This time hug your knee, the other side. And work hard to find that balance. Think about what you're doing. Hold it there for 10 seconds. Okay, and switch, the other one. Bend the other knee as you pull one up and hug the one knee. Okay, good. All right, and let's sit down. Let's do our V-shaped stretch by reaching for the floor as far away from your body as you can. Hold it for 10. And reach for one side, hold it there. And switch the other side. Okay, feet together, and gently push your knees down to your elbows. Hold it there. And enjoy fully the process of what we're doing, working on our bodies and working on our minds. In every stretch, every movement, every thought. Okay, one leg forward, one leg back. Keep the knee on the ground, go as far back as you can. And switch.
Everybody clap your hands. Clap, 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 clap your hands. Clap, 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 clap your hands. All right, now, we're going to do the basic step. To the left. Take it back now, y'all. One hop this time. Right foot, let's stomp. Left foot, let's stomp. Cha-cha, real smooth. Turn it out. To the left. Take it back now, y'all. One hop this time. Right foot, let's stomp. Left foot, let's stomp. Cha-cha now, y'all. Now it's time to get funky. To the right now. To the left. Take it back now, y'all. One hop this time. One hop this time. Right foot, 2 stumps. Left foot, 2 stumps. Slide to the left. Slide to the right. Crisscross. Crisscross. Cha-cha, real smooth. Let's go to work. To the left. Take it back now, y'all. 2 hops this time. 2 hops this time. Right foot, 2 stumps. Left foot, 2 stumps. Hands on your knees, hands on your knees. Get funky with it. Oh, yeah. Come on. Cha-cha now, y'all. Turn it out. To the left. Take it back now, y'all. 5 hops this time. Right foot, let's stomp. Left foot, let's stomp. Right foot again. Left foot again. Right foot, let's stomp. Left foot, let's stomp. Freeze! Everybody clap your hands. Come on, y'all. Check it out, y'all. How low can you go? Can you go down low? All the way to the floor? How low can you go? Can you bring it to the top? Like you never, never stop? Can you bring it to the top? One hop. Right foot now. Left foot now, y'all. Cha-cha, real smooth. Turn it out. To the left. Take it back now, y'all. One hop this time. One hop this time. Reverse. Reverse. Slide to the left. Slide to the right. Reverse, reverse. Reverse, reverse. Cha-cha now, y'all. Cha-cha again. Cha-cha now, y'all. Cha-cha again. Turn it out. To the left. Take it back now, y'all. 2 hops, 2 hops. 2 hops, 2 hops. Right foot, let's stomp. Left foot, let's stomp. Charlie Brown. Hop it out now. Slide to the right. Slide to the left. Take it back now, y'all. Cha-cha now, y'all. Oh, yeah.
David Villa. Here's Messi. Messi makes space for himself, taking on all comers. Lionel Messi! That's it. Goal 85 of the year 2012. And no player, not Pele, not Cruyff, not Maradona, nobody has scored more goals in a calendar year than the great Lionel Messi. It's a fantastic run from Adriano. Spare man on the far side. Messi has a decoy in Iniesta. Iniesta back to Messi! Oh my goodness. And now he is the man who scored more goals in the calendar year than anybody else. Some say he's the greatest, and statistically, he is the greatest now. With discontent. Now Pedro taking on the corner of the defence. Threads it through. Spare man! Oh, Messi! Xavi. Yeah.
Good morning, Believe Nation and Determination. Today, in our top 10 rules for success journey, we are introduced to Warren Buffett. He is another one of my heroes. This man has the greatest mindset, which has allowed him to be the greatest investor of the 20th century. So today he shares with us 3 words that he looks for when hiring people: intelligence, integrity, and energy. I love these words. As you know, they're part of my life mission. I truly believe we are infinite, intelligent, determined, integrated investors, thinkers, human beings. So if we can use those three words in our day-to-day thinking, we can become anything we want to be. So it works in investing. I think of us as human investment machines in every decision we make. So look at every decision you make and what you think today as an investment. Have a great day, everybody.
How many cars have you bought up to this point in time in your life? Now think, okay, what about your spouse? How many cars have they bought? Now consider where you're at. Maybe you're 25 years old and you've got your first car. Maybe you're 65 years old and you've got 10 under your belt. But now consider, okay, think forward into the future. So the relevant growth amount in that same time frame of purchasing the car was much higher for the infinite banking sister when we're purchasing the first car.
Okay, so imagine this. You have two people starting with the same amount of money. They have the same goals, the same opportunities, but they end up in drastically different financial realities. And what made the difference? One individual managed their money by implementing the process of becoming your own banker, the infinite banking concept, and the other individual did not, and stayed stuck in the traditional financial system. So Rich, let's dive in.
Yeah, well, in order to do this, we're gonna go right to the source material. We're gonna go right to Nelson's book. We're gonna look at the example again of buying cars, because why everybody needs a car. We're all spending money on cars. It's a huge, call it a suck of financial cash flow that deteriorates out of people's lives all the time. And Jason, we've been doing this for so many years, and I don't know how many thousands of people we've asked the question and get them to get participation from a group in a room, from anywhere from 10 people to a couple hundred people. How many cars have you bought up to this point in your life? Okay, so listener, that's you. We're asking you now. Write that down on a sheet of paper. How many cars have you bought up to this point in time in your life? Right? Now think, okay, what about your spouse? How many cars have they bought? Now consider where you're at. Maybe you're 25 years old and you've got your first car. Maybe you're 65 years old and you've got 10 under your belt. But now consider, okay, think forward into the future. How many more cars are you going to need before you kick the bucket?
And how are you going to buy them?
Yeah, where's the money coming from? What are you going to do? Are you going to go pay cash? I mean, the price of cars are going up. Are you buying used cars, more expensive cars? Like what's the situation there? So all of that is relevant. But just consider how many up to this point, how many more going forward. And then think about your spouse as well. And then I want to challenge you to go one step further, one second layer, which is how many cars are your kids going to need? And if your kids get married, what about their spouse? If you start to really put all those pieces together, you say, wow, that's a lot of capital flow that potentially is going to just completely disappear out of our financial capacity. Like it's going to leave the aquarium and someone else is going to get the benefit of all that money.
And so this case now that we're going to look at is a case where we're looking at two individuals. They've got the same amount of money, they have the same objectives, but they're going to achieve two very different outcomes. And for the purposes of this case, given that we're referencing R. Nelson Nash's book titled Becoming Your Own Banker, we're going to refer to these individuals as twin sisters. And these twin sisters got together one day and they enjoyed a cup of coffee and they were just having a conversation saying, look, just given the fact that we're twins and we've talked about what financial objectives we have, wouldn't you know it, they're identical. We want to achieve the very same financial outcomes in our lives, but one of the twin sisters decided to do it outside of the traditional financial system and go about it a little bit differently. How did they do that?
Perfect. And so for those of you following along, if you have Nelson's book, Becoming Your Own Banker, we're going to reference page 45 of the book. So I'll bring it up on the screen here. And I just want to give everyone an ability to kind of see the whole thing. It's, it's all kind of math and a big spreadsheet. So I'm going to zone in on this. We're going to make it quite a bit bigger and we're going to kind of zone in on the top section. How's that showing up for you, Jason? Nice and clear there?
Yeah, it looks great.
Okay, great. So couple things we want to do. We want to isolate some aspects. So number one at the top, we have deposits of 5,000. So first thing, Nelson would talk about, look, there's 7 ways that you can get the use of a car. And those 7 ways are, first, you could steal it. Well, that's not very good because we don't want to, we don't want you doing anything illegal. And that's not really, theft is the first labor saving invention, Nelson used to say. So stealing, it's not really a viable option. All right. But you could, in theory, get the use of a vehicle that way.
Yeah.
All right. The next one is gifted. It could be gifted to you. So maybe if you received a gifted car from your parents or something, I actually had something like that to some degree happen to me at one point in time in life. So that could be one other method. Well, the next couple of methods are you're going to lease it, okay, where you don't really own the car until you buy out the lease. So someone else owns it and you're using the car and paying for the privilege to use it. All right. The next thing is here, I'll stop to share for a second. The next thing is you could finance it. So you don't own it yet, but you have title to it, but you don't really own it until you've made the final payment. So you're using someone else's money to go acquire the car. All right?
Okay.
So that's the next method. Now the following method is that you could of course pay cash for the car, but you can only pay cash for the car if you have the cash. So that means you first have to go through a capitalization period where you build up a pot of money to have enough money to pay for the vehicle. So that requires delayed gratification. That's one of the elements of Parkinson's law. You have to, Nelson used to say, show me someone who's willing to put money aside for 7 years and not touch it, and I'll show you someone who's conquered Parkinson's law. So the cash buying method requires capitalization, requires energy, effort, commitment, and consistency to build a reservoir before you can have the thing. So you may have to delay having the use of the car for a longer period of time.
And when you think about paying cash, leasing, or financing, so if we narrow down to those 3 of 7 options, every single one of those options involves a permanent transfer of money away from you. So you described it best in the cash option. You're building up money on the books of someone else's bank. In order for you to get the car, you have to withdraw that money to go buy it. And when you do that, you get the car, but you give up the opportunity to earn interest on that money, not only for your lifetime, but everyone else who comes after you. When you lease the vehicle, you're really making a payment, which is someone else's passive income, and you don't really ever own anything. And then when you finance the car, you're making a payment and you're driving an asset that is just continually depreciating in value. And every payment that you make is a permanent transfer of that money away from you. So one of the 2 twins said, look, well, that's the traditional method of buying cars. Like that's how you buy cars, dummy. Like, don't you know that? Like, that's how you get it done. And so that's what I'm going to do. But I'm going to utilize the bank a little bit differently, but it's going to be someone else's bank. Whereas the other twin sister said, well, I read this book titled Becoming Your Own Banker, and I got together with this guy named Richard, and he encouraged me to purchase a dividend paying whole life insurance policy. And he encouraged me, given that our financial objectives are the same, he encouraged me to put the same amount of money into the policy that you're putting onto the books of someone else's bank. And then he said, look, let's just sort of compare what the outcomes are and you decide what track you want to go down. And so how did that work out, Rich?
Well, and actually it was really easy for them to make that decision because the example was right in the book. So that's, what helped things along. So here we go. We're going to bring that back up again. So we can see our deposits going into a respective system. Okay. So we're talking about system. This is capitalization taking place for 7 years. Now in Nelson's example, he's not showing using anything until the beginning of year 8. It doesn't mean that it couldn't be used earlier, but for his purpose, he said, look, if you can commit to doing this, you're setting yourself above your peers because you understand how to conquer certain human behaviors. All right. So this is money going in. This is an inputs column. We have car payments here. So both of these individuals, we have 2 twins. We have what's referred to as the CD sister, or in Canada, the GIC sister. Okay. So we have that one. And then we also have the IBC sister. So the 2 twins. So this is their respective accounts growing over here. We're going to buy cars throughout this lifetime. So I'll scroll down. We add it all up. I'll give you the shortcut. It's 11 cars that we're going to show in the example.
Okay.
And in each example, we're going to do a withdrawal. So in this scenario, Nelson he wanted to meet people where they were at. So we're not looking at a policy loan situation. We're looking at withdrawal from the respective system, using that capital to go pay cash for a car, and then we're making a car payment. And Nelson had it worked out as an annual payment, but he used the monthly equivalent basically to create the payment stream.
And so
based this
there's
actually-
no policy loans.
no policy loans. He
Yeah.
based this off of a trade-in value of a Chevy Malibu when he put this all together. So
Right.
this was the original impetus because it's a car that his wife actually had, and so he based it on his own personal experience of, okay, I got the old car, I'm going to trade it in. When I traded it in, they say I owe them $10,550 to get the new Malibu, and this is how we based the whole example based on that. Okay.
And before you continue, Rich, one of the things I wanted to add to preface as you dive into this, which is going to be awesome, I want to preface this, and our amazing video editing team can maybe help emphasize this in the video. We need to understand that there are 4 characters in the financial play. So I want all of the viewers to think about this as we're working through the example. The first character in the financial play is the depositor. Both of the twins are going to be depositors. One deposits money onto the books of someone else's bank by purchasing a certificate of deposit. The other pays premium into a dividend-paying whole life insurance contract with a reputable mutual company. So that's the depositor. The second character in the play is the borrower. And even though we're not referencing policy loans, nor are we referencing borrowing money from a conventional bank, when you pay cash for things, you're still working with borrowed money. The third character in the play is the banker, and the fourth character in the play is the bank owner. And we'll tie those final 2 characters into this example once Richard leads us through the next few steps. Back to you, Rich.
Perfect. So just created a couple like little basics here. So
Side. As far back as you can, hold that knee down. Always reach. Going for a little bit more than you did last time. Alright, okay, and legs crossed. Actually, before we do that, let's roll onto our bellies. And let's push the floor and look up at the sky or ceiling. Hold it for 10. Here we go. Alright, and now legs crossed, back straight, eyes closed. Focused on our breathing. Tapping into that power. That power to see first in your mind what you want to bring out into the world. That's our determination, our greatest power ever. Always available to us. So right now I'm going to see myself doing the best I can to hold the plank position for one song, and then the best I can to hold my side plank positions for the rest of the other song. 2 songs today for me. What about you? What are you going to see in your mind? What exercise are you going to visualize right now? You know, visualize yourself doing your best dance, your best jog, your best squats, your best sit-ups, your best jumping jacks, whatever it is. See it in your mind right now before you bring it out into the world. Okay, here I go, plank position, holding it as long as I can. Here we go. What about you? What are you working on right now? Whatever you're doing, do it to the best of your ability and feel the joy. Feel the power of you loving what you're doing right now. That's why I love the gym of life. It goes wherever we go. Whether we're at school, whether we're at work, at home, we have that power. We have that power to control our minds, to do our best on whatever it is we're doing. Whether it's a plank, whether it's sitting down, your legs crossed, your back straight, meditating, whether it's reading a book, whether it's being your best, kind to your friends, your family, do it with everything you got, every part of your being. You were born to do that. No matter what's going on around you, you control what goes on inside your mind, and therefore what goes on in your body. Always remember your breathing. Control your breathing. I love the joy of feeling that moment when it comes, when my body wants to quit, when the discomfort is getting to be too much. And then I stand in that space, and I get to determine. I get to choose. I get to make the winning choice. That's determination. To keep going as much as I can, a little bit more than last time. I feel my muscles achy, trembling. But I get to choose. No, I get to determine. I get to make the winning choice of not giving up, no matter what. And if I do choose and lose, I give up, I get to come back again and again, every single time. It's the same power you have. We all have. No matter what. Alrighty. Proud of my effort there. Next song.
The rumors of sport. Follow the leader, leader, leader. Follow the leader. Follow the leader, leader, leader. Follow the leader. Follow me. Follow the leader, leader, leader. Follow the leader. Follow the leader, leader, leader. Follow the leader. Hands up, down,
one-touch football. Messi. Excellent anticipation play, this from Barcelona. Messi's at the end of it. Magical. It's in from the wing. Messi's in support. Messi draws defenders.
What a goal.
It wouldn't be a Barcelona game without a Lionel Messi goal. They've come up against, well, the Predators, and they've given it away. It's Messi.
Ball.
Good morning, Believe Nation and Determination. Yesterday we looked at the example of his first winning for success, and today I want to borrow from Napoleon Hill's Think and Grow Rich. So for myself, I have found my passion. I am passionate about helping myself and each other, as many people as possible, and filling our minds with as much positive thought energy as possible. This is something I love doing every single morning. I've been doing it in private for years. Now I'm doing it in public because I truly believe it is the antidote to helping ourselves achieve mind health and take ourselves from mind power to mind wealth. Good morning, Believe Nation and Determination. Yesterday we looked at the example of us winning the mind game. Today I want to borrow from Napoleon Hill's Think and Grow Rich and use his example of life being like a checkerboard. And the player opposite to you is time. So we can win against time by filling our moves with determination. Determination is the ability to determine, to decide, to make decisions, to move forward. You see, if we don't use determination, our ability to decide, our players will be wiped off the checkerboard if we think of life as that. So time isn't going to stop for us. Things are going to happen every day. Negative things, sad things are going to happen. It's up to us if we move forward by fighting with determination to fill our minds with positive thought energy. I hope this helps everyone. Have a great day.
What Nelson's talking about in this CD Sister, we've got a person, they take their $5,000 at the beginning of the year, they put it in a GIC or a CD certificate of deposit. It's paying 5.5% interest. Well, recently you could get something close to that. Now the rates are going back down again. When Nelson did this originally back in 2000, that was a prevailing rate. Now they're in a 30% tax bracket. So he said, you're going to have to pay tax at the end of the year. So he's looking at the net value of about 4%. So you can see at the end of the year, the 5,000 has grown to $5,200. That's that 4% net. Okay. The following year, another $5,000 goes in. It grows. We take out the tax. The end result is we now have $10,608.
Okay.
Over here, the IBC twin goes and gets a dividend-paying whole life policy. She puts a $5,000 in as a premium. Okay, a premium, and then she has a cash value. Well, this is the net cash value in Nelson's example that was available. So in the very first year, the twins get together for Christmas, and they're sitting around having, an eggnog or whatever they're doing. And they're discussing, oh, hey, how's things going over there with Richard? He got that policy or whatever he said he was going to do for you. I know I put in 5,000. What do you got going on? Well, she says, well, Richard says it's going to be a long game, and it's really a long-term thing, and so I'm committed to the process. I've got $1,933. So meanwhile, what do you think is happening with the CD sister? She's thinking to herself, oh my God, I told you that Richard guy, that insurance guy was an absolute yahoo. He's not looking out for you at all. My word, you got to get rid of that thing right away. Don't do another year. You should just get rid of it today. And you should come over to the regular bank and do what I'm doing, because this is working out like hot potatoes, let me tell you. Right? That something to the effect is the conversation going on.
Yeah.
All right. So year 2 goes by, they get together, they have a similar conversation. Of course, the CD sister is much farther ahead. They continue doing this for a while. And it's not until, and I'll just give everyone a bit of a preview here, and let's pick a different color. It's not until year 15, where all of a sudden the IBC sister pulls ahead and has a higher account value than her twin. And from that point in time, she maintains being higher for the rest of the life of the entire system, really the rest of their existence. Okay. So that's the long game versus the short game. And when we run a race, whether you've ever done that before, or a marathon or something, what do you care most about? Is it how quickly you come out of the gate, or is it how do you finish the race? It's really how you finish that matters. And we see that happening inside of the twin sister example. So now
100%.
let's talk about cars. So you can see right here, we purchase our first car in year 8. Now the purchase, again, we have an account value. That account value comes down. So what we're looking at here in these columns is the end of year value. We had an end of year value. We took $10,550 out, but we repaid $30,30 as car payments, and we still earned interest or accumulation on cash value respectively in each of these systems, and they continue to rise again. So a couple things to notice here. If you take a look from before we took the money at this stage, and then when we take the money the following time, what is happening with respect to the increase in their system? If you take a look at the CD sister, 49,000 minus the 41,000, it grew about $8,000, roughly speaking.
Right.
If you take a look at the IBC sister, her account value is 45,821 versus 35,960. It's pretty close to 10,000 bucks. It's a little bit off. It's off
Pretty
by
close.
maybe, it's about $9,800. So the growth, relevant growth amount in that same time frame of purchasing the car was much higher for the infinite banking sister when we're purchasing the first car. Okay.
100%.
Now, they've had 4 years of fun with the Malibu, and it's time, you know, it's got lost a little bit of its sheen. It's got a few dents from being in the parking lot and the, you know, shopping carts, and they're going to do a trade-in. They're going to trade in the old one, and they're going to get a brand new one. So we're just going to keep that price consistent. The reality is it might be worth a higher value, but for the purpose of example, we're just going to keep all those the same. They do the same process, take some money out, go pay cash for the car, negotiate a good deal, hopefully with the car dealer, which is not shown on here, but ideally you can, there's probably some savings available there as well. And they're going to continue to consistently make those car payments back into the system. All right. So we know at year 15 that the infinite banking sister has now pulled ahead as far as her cash value in her policy relative to what the twin has at the regular bank. And if I keep scrolling down here, and we're going to go all the way down to looking at a retirement phase, there's a couple key elements we need to take a look at. So we're going to zone in here on line 51. In fact, I'm just going to highlight line 51. Let's get a big green color going all the way across the line here. So here's line 51. This is the point where they've made their final car payment and they're not getting any new cars at this stage. Now, by the way, one thing I didn't mention is that this started at age 21 for these twins.
Okay.
By the time that they get down here, they are starting age 72.
Okay.
So this is when they're purchasing. They've finished making payments on their last car. They're probably not putting as many miles on, and they're not buying any more cars in this particular example. Well, the CD sister over here has $258,000, $259, we'll call it, inside of her account value. So she did pretty good. Like, we should absolutely like high five, pump chest, well done. This is from effectively self-financing cars. She paid cash for every car. She committed to repaying car payments because she would have had to do it anyway. And she kept it all going back to a system, which just so happened to be at someone else's bank. So she could generate some earnings. Over here, we have the IBC sister. Now, if we take the difference here between these two numbers, and for the purpose of our example today, Jay, I won't round it. I'll actually do we'll do the real math. So we have $964,638 for the IBC twin, minus $258,927, and I'll leave the change off because I want to keep it simple. So this is the total difference for the IBC sister. Let's just call it $706,000 is the total difference in their account values.
And
Now,
there's
that's not a little number. That's a big number.
yeah. And there's a primary reason for that outcome. One of the twin sisters was a customer, the other one was an owner. And I'm referencing the twin sister who went the IBC route.
We're gonna hold the side plank position for one side and then side planks for the other side. Show you in a moment. How about you? You proud of your effort so far? Keep going, everybody. Keep going. Keep moving. Moving is winning. Doing our best is winning. Wherever we are, whatever we're doing. That's the gym of life. Here we go. You can feel free to do what I'm doing, or again, if you want to decide to do something else, something that you want to improve on from last time, an exercise, whatever it is, keep doing it, keep going, do your best, try to do a little bit better than last time. That's your determination. You get to use it wherever you go, wherever you are. You get to determine, you get to win, make the winning, accurate, kind, peaceful, loving, positive choice to keep going, to keep finding out how unlimited you really are. I'm just trying to hold my my body in a plank position with my one elbow down, other arm on the side of my body, and I'm trying to make sure that I'm lifted off the ground. The other side too. That'll be my exercise for today. How about you? Keep going, whatever you're doing. If you're dancing, you're doing jumping jacks, doing push-ups, sit-ups, squats, whatever it is, keep going. Alright, other side now. Try to hold it for the duration of the song. If not, I'm gonna keep going. Even if I fall down or stop, get right back up and keep going. Always do my best, always seeking and striving for my best, for our best. The more I do my best, the more I believe others around want to do their best. And that goes for you. That's how powerful we are. You doing your best right now, wherever you are, whatever exercise you're doing, that's the same process that other people can be inspired by. This is living your best. Here's your dream. Let negativity live here. Stop your
Good morning, Believe Nation and Determination. Today, Warren Buffett shares with us his first rule for success, and it is this: find your passion. So for myself, I found my passion. I am passionate about helping myself and each other, as many people as possible, and filling our minds with as much positive thought energy as possible. This is something I love doing every single morning. I've been doing it in private for years now. I'm doing it in public because I truly believe it is the antidote to helping ourselves achieve the mind, health, and take care of ourselves, mind, power, mind, well. So that's my passion. I live it every single day. What's your passion? You gotta find your passion. Warren Buffett found this passion at a young age. He loved investing. He loved reading. He loved filling his mind with positive energy as well. Look at his success. I hope this helps everyone. Have a great day.
Shielding well against
became a co-owner of the life insurance company, and that position, co-ownership, put that twin sister in a position where she became all four characters in her financial play. Was she deposited? Absolutely. She deposited the very same amount that her twin, who purchased certificates of deposit, purchased. She put in the same amount of money into someone else's system. Whereas the IBC twin was a co-owner of the life insurance company. So she deposited money. She withdrew to buy cars. She's still working with more money. When we reference lost opportunity cost. She's the banker because had she requested policy loans, which she did throughout this whole part of the journey, she would have controlled the repayment schedule of those loans. And she's the bank owner. So where did all that additional financial energy flow to? Well, for the customer to win, that flowed to the stockholders of the bank. That didn't flow to her. Whereas with the IBC twin, all that financial energy landed right in her own policy. And so if you're working with the very same amount of money, but you're just changing where the money resides, and then from that place, you're achieving a series of financial objectives, then logically, how much of your capital do you not want residing within the IBC bucket versus being just a customer? If you have the option to be the owner and the customer, that creates a significant financial advantage, as evidenced by the calculation you just did.
And if you take into consideration, if you think about the amount of time we're looking at here, okay, we got 51 years. If there was $5,000 worth of deposits on the front end, that's 35 grand, plus all of these car payments that they made, all of those would have been deposits on the books of that other banking institution.
Right.
Well, they're paying interest for the privilege of getting access to that money to go do more with it. So this $706,000, the differential, I really, and I don't think it's a stretch by any means that's how much revenue would have been generated on those deposits for the bank owner over that same time frame. So stockholders would have received that off of that same time frame.
Yeah, that's so true. And now they're at a point where it's retirement time.
And here's where things get really interesting. And again, it's clear we can see how much money one of them has over the other. But this is where I think it's really important to recognize. Look, both of these individuals did well. There's nothing wrong about doing it the CD sister way. in comparison to the person that paid cash and all they have is the 30 car payments for 4 years stacked up in an account and maybe a little bit of interest that accumulated somewhere along the line, like they're way further ahead.
Right.
And the person that borrowed the money from the third party bank and had nothing left over, they're way further ahead than that person. And the person that leased cars the whole way and never even had ownership of the car over that same time frame, but they needed the same cars, they're light years farther ahead of that person.
Yeah.
And the person that stole 5 of those 11 cars and then got pinched and thrown in jail and spent the rest of the time in jail, they're way ahead of that person. Okay? So like just put everything into perspective, essentially, is what I'm getting at.
Yeah.
But in the following year, they each take $50,000 as a passive income. Again, we're looking at, you know, a quote unquote after tax environment here in this relationship that we're talking through this. Well, we need to first understand what all went into the system. So there's a couple of columns at the bottom here, and I want to isolate this because a lot of people don't realize this is the case. This column represents all of the amount of withdrawals that they took out for car purchases. So they did 11 cars, and this is the total amount of withdrawals. This money actually came out of each respective system.
So that's a minus.
That's right. It's a minus. Over here, this represents the inputs. This was the money that went in. It was the $5,000 for 7 years. And it was the 30 car payments for all of those car payments put together. So this is all that went in to the policy. This is all that came out of the policy before retirement income.
Yeah.
Well, in order to get a really good reference point in here, we need to do the math on that, the third grade arithmetic, as Nelson Nash would say. So let's do 168,320
Okay.
minus the 116,050. We have a net money remaining. So net money in the deal. How much is left in the deal? Nelson would say 52,250. All right. So I'll just write it down here.
270.
270. Sorry.
Yeah, that's right.
So that's how much is left inside the system as far as net allocation. What went in, what we withdrew to go buy cars, how much skin in the game do we have in this deal? Right. This is where things are like super, super interesting from my vantage point. I want to change colors here. I'll use red for this. So each sister withdrew 50 grand in the very first year. Didn't they get the equivalent of most of that net money back?
They sure did. And it's important to point out that the CD twin actually withdrew, right? It was cash that was coming out. I mean, it's a real number. And what Nelson reminded us of is that the IBC twin, there were dividend withdrawals from the actual policy, right? And so that's why you see that the cash in the system, you see that continuing to go up in the IBC column as compared to the cash in the system going down in the CD twin sister column.
And let's bring it back. Let's connect our breathing to our body, to our mind, to our energy. To our energy of determination. That's right. We determine. We don't choose and lose. Give up, believe lies, give into fear. We don't do that. We don't give in to anxiety, stress, things that are not the truth of who we are. The way you did your best today, whatever exercise and stretches you chose to do, the same process you get to use here, now, wherever you go. The gym of life. You get to grow your mind. You get to grow your mind health and your mind health.